I feel like I'm going to go into business mode about talking about this, so please forgive me if I do. I just want to share with you something I've learned as a brand strategist and something I've learned just as being a creative in general, and that is storytelling matters deeply in your brand. Okay? Let me say it again. Storytelling matters deeply in your brand. If you don't have a story that people can talk about, then you're just selling stuff, right? Like Nike, the reason that Nike works so well is they have that story of like, just do it. Go out there, be that. Land Rover has the story of being out there in the wilderness and climbing across stuff that you never would in a Fiat Punto or something like that. Like, the story matters so much, yet so many brands and so many businesses just ignore it. They just don't care. They just like, hey, we make the best widgets and check it out. We use this special alloy to do it. And we use this special technique to do it. No one cares. Like, no one cares about that stuff. What we want is to know why. We want to know why your business exists. We want to know why you make that widget. That widget doesn't matter. The widget solves a problem. And there is 1,000 widgets out there that solve the same problem. How do I differentiate your widget from other people's widgets? I do that with branding, which is basically, just so you know, branding is just what people talk about behind your back as a business. So this business here is this, and that's the brand. It's what people say about your company when you're not in the room. Like, that's what you need to nurture. And you do that through storytelling. You do that through branding. Branding is basically just a core message repackaged in 1,000 different manners. That's all it is. It's just, this is who we are. This is what we stand for. And we want to make sure that you understand this. That's a story, right? Like, take Indiana Jones. You instantly, as soon as I say Indiana Jones, you have a vision of that person in your mind. Right? That's the brand of Indiana Jones. That's the brand of that person. That's the brand of that whole story. That's all it is. So if you don't have a story in your brand right now, you just have a brochure. Like, that's all it is. It doesn't matter how good your website is. It doesn't matter how good your videos or your photos are. If there's no real core understanding of what the story is behind it, it doesn't matter. Now, finding the story is tricky, and that is something that takes time and effort and practice and patience, right? And it's something that can be curated over time. It doesn't need to be done today. You can sit back and start asking yourself the true why behind this. Why was my company invented? Why does that matter? Why do people care about my company? Why should they care about my company existing or not? Right? Why should they care about the problem it's solving? Like, all of these things are really important questions. The why questions, there's a whole fucking book on it. It's Simon Sinek. Start with why. Go read that book. If you read that book if you do nothing else but read that book as a business owner, you'll be further ahead than 90% of your business owners around you. Like, period. That book is by far one of the most strongest storytelling books on the market. And he hasn't been it since. He's written a dozen books afterwards. And it's still that is still a killer book. So start with the why. Start with understanding why your company exists. Tell that story over and over and over again. That becomes your brand. Ta-da, you've got a brand that people care about. It's that simple. So yeah, I went into business mode, and I'm sorry. And this is the point where I could actually even turn around and pitch my business to you, which I won't, because you need to know why first.